Welcome back to another episode of Awaken Your Spirit. Today, like usual, it's another special episode. And today we're going to have a chance to speak to Mr. Luc Blanchard. Monsieur Blanchard has written a book, and also he had put a CD of meditation. And we're going to discuss this with him today. And at the same time, at the end of the episode, he's going to demonstrate a little practice that he does, and he can tell us exactly what's this practice and what's the benefits of the practice. So we're going to welcome Mr. Luc Blanchard today. Good morning, Luc.
Good morning, Mary.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you so much for having me.
I would like for you to speak, first of all, about your book that you wrote, The Golden Link to Oneness, and also I'm just going to show right away the CD that Monsieur Blanchard put together, and this is the meditation and also is related to the book that he wrote. So how did you get to write the book?
Well, the book, I've always wanted to be a writer, and the book came about following an experience I had that triggered my spiritual awakening.
Okay.
And in this book, I talk a little bit about my story, some anecdotes as well along the way. But it focuses on my experience at the Oneness University, which is a huge temple. It's a movement in India. And the purpose of it is to release humanity from suffering. A very noble cause.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
And the primary element that they teach is giving Diksha. And Diksha is a form of blessing that's given to people, and the purpose is to raise the level of consciousness of humanity. And through that, I talk about my experiences at the Oneness University and about my own spiritual awakening. But I also incorporate elements for people to follow as a guide to experience their own awakening.
So what is exactly the Diksha, if I ask you?
Yeah, the Diksha is probably the easiest form of meditation you could do.
Okay.
Because you as a recipient of Diksha, you have nothing to do at all. So Diksha is a blessing that's given, and the person giving the Diksha has to go through an initiation process. And I was initiated, interestingly enough, by an actress you probably know. Her name is Lindsay Wagner. She had a TV show in the 70s called The Bionic Woman.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite shows, The Bionic Woman, yes.
So she got involved into the oneness movement, and she's a facilitator. She teaches the principles of oneness and oneness meditation. And I followed Lindsay through different meditation retreats. Mm-hmm. And at one of them I attended in Hawaii, she initiated me to give Diksha. And so following that, I did go to India, and I went through a 28-day process there, which was a very intensive meditation process. And in giving the Diksha, I place myself to the side of my personality, to the side of my ego, and I allow divine energy to flow through me. So I become a vessel, I become a channel of divine energy, and I transmit that to the person receiving it. It can be done with the hands over the head, or it can also be done by intention. It can be sent to a person, to a group of people, to a community. It can be sent, if there's a traumatic event happening halfway around the world, that Diksha energy can be sent to the people experiencing that traumatic event to help them cope, to help them through that experience. And the Diksha is a blessing with the sole purpose of raising one's level of consciousness. And we know when we raise our level of consciousness, our whole life experience changes.
to be able to become a Diksha practitioner, if I may call it, is there a specific steps you have to do? Is there a specific study that you have to go through to become a Diksha practitioner?
Yeah, well, I can maybe tell you a little bit about when I went to Hawaii to receive the initiation to become a Diksha giver, a Diksha facilitator, as they're known. And it's a process of going through liberations, going through doing intensive meditations, and revisiting our relationship that we have with our core family, with our mother, our father, with our ancestors, and processing any kind of energy or emotions and experiences from the past that are limiting in our life experience.
It's basically, you want to tell me that you have to empty all your blockage,
Yeah.
if I may say it this way, because as a medium, as a psychic, it's the same thing for me. When I sit with a client, I want to make sure that I don't have any personal attachment to my own feelings, and just open my channel, if you want, to receive for the other person. So if I'm understanding you correctly, it's the same thing, which is, again, it's an energy work that you do. So basically, you are channeling the divine energy to come through you, so you be able to give this to the other person.
That's exactly it.
Is that?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And you said a very interesting word about our attachments to different energies from our past, and those are the things that we seek to liberate ourselves from.
Is the attachment to the past, is the attachment to things that we hold on because we don't know any better. Some people are afraid to let go of these negative emotions because they're going to feel empty, correct? So, but if we really deal with these emotions and let it go and receive the divine energy, so we're always going to be healed, right?
That's right.
So the Diksha is some sort of, it's exactly the same thing. It's channeling the divine energy to be able to heal the other person.
Right.
And because the people that probably you encountered, they're not aware of that feeling or that energy around them, because they're so involved in day-to-day life, somebody like you, somebody like me, who can actually raise their awareness, as you say.
And that's the beautiful thing. As soon as you raise that level of awareness, your whole life transforms. For one person going through a traumatic experience, they may hold on to the event itself as being the universe against them, that they did something wrong. And they associate themselves to the event.
Yes.
And that event becomes part of their personality, part of who they are or who they believe they are. In finding liberation from these attachments, we don't become identified with the events in our lives. We don't associate them as being part of ourselves. They simply are experiences that come and they go. We don't have that attachment. And these attachments are what limits us in our human experience.
It's some kind of a blockage that we put ourselves, really.
That's exactly it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've seen it over and over again. And that's why, a show like this, Awaken Your Spirit, I'm hoping that the people that they're going to watch that, they'll be able to open the doors to other things and other perspective. So the Diksha is a form of meditation, divine energy. I talk a lot about it in meditation, and I really recommend people to meditate. What can you give everybody today, either a technique, or what is the benefit really? Or is there, I know there's so many different techniques for meditation. What do you do for meditation? What kind of meditation do you do? What kind of mantra?
Well, meditation has a very big part in my life, and one of the meditation techniques that I enjoy the most, that I do once, if not twice a day, is meditations using the mala beads. I always have them either around my wrist or around, I have another one here, around my neck. And the mala beads are a great tool for meditation. There's 108 beads around a strand of the mala, and we use these to keep track of count, just to count a mantra.
Okay.
So a mantra is simply a word or a syllable, a sound that has a sacred meaning. It could be, for example, I'm sure you've heard Om.
Om.
As a mantra. So you could use the word Om as a mantra, and you repeat that mantra 108 times, keeping track as you go around the mala bead. The central bead here, the bigger bead, is called the guru bead. So once you go around the mala bead and you return to the guru bead, you pause there for about 5-10 minutes, and you allow your inner guru to provide you with insight or information. And that's where you get aha moments.
Okay.
So that's the purpose of mala beads. It's a very simple technique that anybody can use. And I know you have some in your shop here.
Yeah.
And they're just great for meditation because it keeps you focused. It keeps you in the present moment. As you're repeating the mantra, you're repeating it in the moment. You're using your tactile senses to be physically present with the bead as you touch it. And as you repeat the mantra, Om, 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 you're hearing yourself repeat the mantra. And you can only hear yourself in the present moment.
That's right. Yeah.
You can't hear yourself in the past.
No.
And you can't hear yourself in the future.
No.
And that's one of the great principles of meditation. It brings you back to the present.
So it helps you stay in the moment.
Exactly.
Mm.
And
Yes.
you could use different mantras. For example, one that I really like to use if I'm looking to instill a sense of inner peace, of deep inner peace, is Om Shanti 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 Om.
Does it mean something?
Yeah, the Om means it's the universal sound. It's the primordial sound of creation. It's the first sound that ever existed in the universe, in the cosmos. And the Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means a deep peace, an everlasting peace, the kind of peace that is the natural state of our existence. Before the ego and the personalities get involved.
That's for sure. The ego has a big factor in our life.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you repeat Om Shanti, 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 Om, you repeat it, the Shanti 3 times, one for body, one for mind, one for spirit. And to bring that inner peace in all of those aspects of your being.
So this is actually, it helps you focus to stay in the moment. Somebody that is having difficulties staying focused in the meditation, which a lot of people cannot sit still to do meditation. So that would be a helper for them to actually start practicing the beads before actually.
Absolutely.
And that will bring them in the moment kind of thing.
That's right. And if I may, I would really like to challenge your viewers to try meditation with mala beads.
It's not easy yet.
It is very easy.
Okay.
Very easy. All you have to do is repeat the same word over and over again for 108 times. If you don't have a mala bead, you can simply use your clock. 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Do it once a day for 7 days, and you'll see a transformation.
Oh, well, then I hope that whoever is listening to take Lucas' advice and try it at home. And you can always write back to us and tell us if it made a difference in your lives. Beside the beads, I noticed in the beads there is a different color. I don't know if you can see. Like in here, this is to break the count? Like And how would you differentiate the feelings if you have your eyes closed? How can you differentiate the feeling? They're all the same.
These ones there are a variety of different mala beads. Some have spacers, some have different beads incorporated, but they don't have any other meaning other than to give a nice look to it.
Okay.
Cosmetic, I would say.
So it's really the color here. It doesn't mean that
No.
you're breaking or you're.
And you could get you could get some mala beads either made out of seeds. In India, I brought back quite a few mala beads made out of tree seeds. These ones are sandalwood. You could get some made out of crystals. So if you have an affinity to rose quartz or amethyst, you could have mala beads made of those. If you're talented enough, you could make one yourself as well.
But the beads themselves, or what the beads are made of, it has no relation to actually the mantra you're going to say. It's just a preference, right?
It's a preference.
Okay.
If you connect with something, if you connect with a spiritual tool, you're more likely to use it.
Yes, yes.
And I encourage people to, even if it's for cosmetic reasons alone, if you relate to it, use it. It's better that you relate to something that you like and that you use it than not at all. So I encourage people to take that approach.
It's exactly when people buy stones, like, crystals. They say, what crystals should I carry? I said, well, if you look at them, you're always going to find one that is going to be outstanding than the others. So that means your energy is calling that. So with the beads, basically, it's the same thing.
Same thing. And the tendrils, I forgot to mention, represent the divine consciousness that comes to us. And it goes through, it gets brought into one point, and it goes all the way around. And the beads here represent also our path in life. Our lifetimes of learning, experiences in our lives that we surmount and we move on to the next. And so there's lots of symbology as well associated to the mala beads.
Where else, and I know that you use this a lot in India, where else have you seen, like me, I'm Egyptian, so I seen this growing up, especially the Muslim people, after the prayers, they will sit and actually, I don't know what they say, but it's another mantra. Their beads, they're 99 beads.
That's correct,
yeah. This one is 108.
That's right.
So it does the same thing.
It's a very similar. It's to keep track of count. There are many faiths that have some form of beads for keeping count of prayers, whether it be a rosary or japa or mala beads. Their purposes are very, very similar.
So it doesn't matter really what color or what shape it is.
Yeah.
The purpose is we're all seeking the same thing.
That's right.
We're all seeking divine energy. We're all seeking peace and and harmony in our lives. Beside the beads for meditation, what other technique that you will recommend to our viewer to practice, and something that they can actually use at home?
Breathing, I find, is a very important meditation technique that we don't really associate breathing as being a meditation. But again, if you look at the function of breathing, you're breathing in the present moment.
Yep.
Right? You can't breathe in the past. You
No.
can't breathe in the future.
No, that's true.
You're breathing right now.
Yeah,
That's when it happens.
Yeah.
And so whenever I start off meditations, I might meditate for an hour and a half in one sitting. But before I start off meditating, I focus on my breathing just to center myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know not everybody will meditate for over an hour, but if you can meditate for 5 minutes, that is all I would suggest someone to do if they're starting. And so breathing is a great way to do a very gentle meditation. And you could simply take a deep inhale and count to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of your breath, you just hold it for a count of 2. And then you exhale. Count of 3, and you hold. You keep your lungs empty for a count of 2, and then you just breathe again, inhaling, counting to 3, and you hold, count for 2. And you keep on doing that for as long as you can. If you're just starting, I would suggest doing 3 minutes of this conscious
technique,
breathing, because it's a very conscious thing, because you have to think about it,
Yeah.
you have to count, and you have to go through the action, and you have to remember to pause
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. So this is a great, simple way that you can center yourself. You can find a moment of peace and tranquility. And all of these, the more you do, the more you'll experience a peaceful mind.
And you will be more connected with the divine energy and everything else around
Absolutely.
you.
Yes.
Luke, I can talk with you for hours and hours, and it's always been like that. I always look forward to our meetings together and our workshop. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation and being here today. I just want to bring back the attention to Lucas' book, which is the Golden Link to Oneness. I do have this in Moonlight Medium store, as well as the meditation. I really recommend the meditation. I use this during my meditation class, and it's a great tool to have at home. It will give you the opportunity, if you don't want to be in a group, which is also beneficial for you if you do group meditation. But if you don't, you can always purchase that. I do have it at the store also. And like every episode, I'm waiting for you to send me any questions or any subject that you like us to bring to you in your own comfort at home, and we will be very happy to discuss or invite the person that it will help you with the subject you like to know about. So please tune in, and there's more to come, and we hope to see you again.